بين الرجاء والخوف قلبي طائر. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning. Right now it is 5:14 and I'm going to pray Fajr in the mosque for the first time. The prayer time is at 5:45, so me and my mother are going there. It's her first time too, so we're getting ready for that. And on this vlog, I'm going to showcase how I'm getting prepared for Ramadan. It's my second one. I'm excited because this time I'm not working two jobs, because last Ramadan I worked my full-time job, I worked part-time at Old Navy, and I was still trying to go to Taraweeh and all that stuff. So this year I think it's my year to like kind of grasp what traditions I want to like make for myself during Ramadan and stuff. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself because it's my second one. The first one I was just like, whoa, this is what happens. So yeah, so I'll just show you how I'm getting prepared for that throughout the day. This is my mom. Mommy, how do you feel about going to your first Fajr at the mosque?
I'm very happy to see what it's like being in the mosque this early in the morning.
I wonder how many women are going to be there. We'll report back to you. So I just came back from Fajr prayer. It was so nice. There was only 4 girls on the girls' side, but we held it down. Ma, are you laughing at what I'm saying? That's rude. I was shocked that you say the Fajr prayer out loud. I thought it was a silent prayer. So I'm like halfway through, like not halfway, like maybe like 1/3 through Surah Al-Fatiha, and then the Imam started reciting it out loud, and I was like, wait a minute. I was not expecting that. So it's really nice to go there. I will do it again, but it feels so weird when like there's only a few girls there, I would say. But maybe I have to get over that hurdle. Because there was a few times when I pray at the mosque, like for Dur, and there won't be that much women there. But it was nice. It was nice to be at the masjid that early in the morning and just have it be quiet and you just with your thoughts and making dua. So, yeah. So I'm about to change soon and then I head to the gym. I am in my gym outfit because I am ready to go to the gym. I got this outfit from Modanisa. My room is kind of a mess, so excuse that. So it's like this tracksuit, comes with this piece and these bottoms, and it covers the bunda and all that stuff. So yep, and there's me and my hijab bun looking like one of those peanuts from the Proud Family. So I want to show you this Quran stand that I also got from Modanisa. It's really cool. So like for the life of me, I could not figure out how to open it and to use it as a stand. So I was like going like this, trying to figure it out, flipping it over, but it literally, you put it in here and it stands up. Now I think I need like a bigger desk or something because this lamp is not it. I wrote this, and then I could put my Quran here and try to read. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone again. I like keep disappearing, and honestly it is my fault because I'm not managing my time the way I should be. So inshallah I will get better at time management so I can come back and give you updates about my Islamic journey and so forth. So you've seen some clips of what I've been up to lately and so forth. Ramadan is coming up soon. Inshallah, will be my second Ramadan, so I'm so excited. So before I get into what I'm doing to prepare for Ramadan, I wanted to give you some updates. In my last video, I talked about how I am starting to wear the niqab more and so forth. So I have been wearing it for a while. Well, I wouldn't say a while. I have been wearing it on and off for like maybe like 3 weeks or so. In the last like 2 weeks, I haven't been wearing it as often because I realized that I like one style of niqab more than the other. But it was so funny. Like I've been feeling weird not wearing a niqab to the masjid because I only have like one style that I like the most, like one niqab of the style that I like the most. There's this niqab that I got. It was like a green color, so beautiful, but I have no idea how to like tie it and use it. And I would show a clip of me like saying that something looks wrong. Like it just looks wrong to me. Maybe I do have it right, but it's just like me not used to it on my face. But here's the clip of it. So this is the niqab that I have. This is it here. Goes like this. Is it inside out? Wait, well, I have it inside out. That would help if you have it the right way. This is the only one that I have in color. See, I feel like the eye part is like too small for my big head. Let me go put this on off camera and I'll come back. Okay, I think I put it on right. Something doesn't look right. I don't think I'm used to this style of niqab. Like, I was trying to fix it and like, is it me or something doesn't look right? I think it should be okay now. That's what I'm guessing. And it has like this thing in the back. Like that. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna try it out. I have a hijab underneath, so if it gets annoying, I can just take it off. So that's like me like figuring out, and I went like said I was gonna wear it out in that clip, but I did not. I just took it off. I was like, this is too hard. I don't know how to use this and so forth. Like the one that I have in this photo, I'm gonna like link it somewhere here. I like the eye to like nose ratio. It's a bit wider. I don't really like the like ones that are like really close. So that's like for me personally. Maybe one day I'll wear that. So that is like what's been going on in niqab. So I definitely want to get more, inshallah, so I can like wear it here and there. On my melanated Muslim page, I like stopped sharing my personal page. I like made my personal page private because I just want that to like myself, and then my melanated Muslim page to be about my journey and so forth. So on the melanated Muslim page, I have like 100% hijabi and like 25% niqabi. So that's like what I am. Who knows? You will see along my journey the percentage goes up. Inshallah it will. But that's like my update on the niqab. I do feel so weird that I haven't been wearing it lately. And it's so weird because I don't wear it like all the time. I don't wear it to like work or anything like that. I just like wear it to the masjid and like when I'm doing errands that I was wearing it before. So inshallah I will get more than what I like and be more comfortable with it. Well, another update is I'm still in Arabic class. We got to the part where we're reading the Quran. Alhamdulillah, I never thought like I'll be Muslim and then like reading a Quran in Arabic. It's like so crazy to think about. So that's a little update there. So that's what's going on with that. I feel like I'm more to this side. Let me see if I like get myself in the middle here. Am I in the middle now? I don't know. But I positioned myself because I felt like I was more to the side than to like the middle. I don't know, I probably made it worse, but whatever. But to know that we're reading parts of the Quran, and I'm struggle reading, alhamdulillah, but the fact that I can read one word is so amazing because I remember they said if you read one word of the Quran, you get 10 hasanat, 10 blessings coming your way just for one word. So inshallah, I'm racking up all the rewards from my struggle reading and so forth. So at first I thought our like Arabic teacher was crazy in a way, and here's why. Because he like would want us to read like 10 verses of the Quran each week, and we have to practice it each day, and plus to write the 10 verses out, so we have to like hand it to him. And I'm like, this man is crazy. He's giving us a whole bunch of work, but he keeps saying that it's for the betterment of us. And because I guess since I'm such a new reader, it's like overwhelming to me because like it takes me a long time to read because I'm learning the words. I'm like, what word is this? Is this tha or this ta? Like, what is going on here? But alhamdulillah, from us doing that, I have been able to read a bit faster than in the beginning. I'm able to connect the words. I'm probably not pronouncing them correctly per se, but the fact that I get like the basic sound of them is like amazing. So this is to say, like, you may be like learning something and it's like so hard and it's like making you feel overwhelmed, but inshallah you will see the rewards. You will see what's coming out from it. You will see that your teacher is not crazy. You're the crazy one for not believing in your teacher and so forth. So shout out to Brother Mayways for teaching us in such a beautiful way. So I'm so happy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him for teaching us and giving us our homework like that, even though we may think it's too hard, but it's really helping us. So that is another update of my life. So now let's get on to Ramadan. So I have my notes so I can describe what Ramadan is to you, so just in case you're not familiar with it. So what is Ramadan? So Ramadan is the month that the Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, and the full Quran was revealed over a 23-year period, I believe. I think it's 23 or 24 years. So this is why we love Ramadan, because it's the month that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the Prophet Muhammad alayhi wasallam to be the messenger and to provide the Quran to us all. So that's beautiful. And Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. It's the pillar, Ramadan is fasting, so there's a pillar about fasting. So Ramadan is a part of the pillars of Islam, and it's a month of fasting from dusk to dawn. So our first prayer of the day is Fajr. We start a fast by Fajr, and we end our prayer at Maghrib, which is our 4th out of 5 prayers. So for example, if Ramadan was today, we will have to start fasting from 5:12 a.m. and we cannot eat until or drink until 5:45 p.m. So a little over 12 hours. So that's what you would do. So it's fasting from food, drink, and if you're married, sexual activity. Then outside of fasting, you read the Quran, give to charity, pray with your community, change what you consume in terms of music, TV, and shows, and you develop better habits with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
ومن اليقين النور بيض جوانحي فوق السحاب يطير حرا مدركا نسمو كماله للكون وجه آخر نحيا أنا صنعة أوجدتها يا باري وملكت فيها معصم الإيمان.
This is my second Ramadan, and I'm so excited for it. But before I get into like my goals and what I want to do for this Ramadan, I want to have some time to reflect on my first Ramadan. So my first Ramadan, every time I think about it, I was just like, can't believe it. And there was a time that I was during Ramadan, and I think it was like a few weeks in, and I was feeling the fast, feeling like this new type of energy in the air. I remember sitting, and I think it was before Taraweeh. So Taraweeh is a night prayer that we do every night of Ramadan. It's the goal of Ramadan is to have your mosque recite the whole Quran by the end of Ramadan. So you go there for several hours, I would say. I feel like it's maybe in the beginning it's about 4 hours. I'm not too sure how long you're there, but it's like a long time. So to me, it felt like a long time. I don't know, maybe to like regular Muslims, it's probably like, oh, we're used to this, but I just feel like we're praying for a long time because it was my first time. But I remember before Ramadan, I'm sitting next to Farhana in Iman, and I'm just like there, and I don't know what happened. Like, they were like, are you okay? I don't know what happened. Something came up, and I just started crying because I said I would have never thought I would be here experiencing something so beautiful as Ramadan. And I was thinking about it earlier today, and like tears brought to my eyes because literally I cannot believe that I'm gonna experience something so beautiful as Ramadan for the second time in my life. Like, all I can say is Alhamdulillah, and I'm just like so glad that I was guided here, because the feeling that you have in Ramadan is a feeling that you cannot duplicate. It's like you can't get outside of Ramadan in a way, and that you hope to. Your like goal is to achieve that feeling, I guess, for me. But just to be in Ramadan fasting, doing a commandment from Allah, is the most beautiful thing. Like, we had a Revert meeting, we have it every Sunday, and the Imam was like, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said fasting is for him, and you would never know the reward. So we don't even know what type of reward we're getting from fasting, but we just know that it's going to be many blessings that we were going to get because we're fulfilling one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and fulfilling a commandment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So just being there. Then another beautiful thing is being in Taraweeh. Like, first of all, there's like millions of people in the mosque. Everybody's hot. You're sweating. You're doing like multiple rackets of prayer. You're standing for a long time. Like, for some of us, we don't understand the meaning of the Quran. But even though you don't understand certain meanings, certain verses, what they mean, it still touches you in a way that I have never felt before. And like, you would just start crying. So I remember me like standing, in prayer and just like crying my like eyes out like during certain stuff. And like I know that this year I'm gonna have to bring tissues and have it like in like I need to like get abayas that have like pockets, because I need tissues, because I can't be like sniffling and all that stuff to like wipe my eyes and stuff like that. But I wish I could describe what it's like to people who haven't experienced it before, but it's so beautiful. And I just can't wait. It's like everybody is tired, everybody's doing this, everybody's fasting, you know, everybody is trying not to drink as much water because you don't want to pee during Tawi. Because like if you move, I learned, if you go to the bathroom and you have a spot, you're not getting back to that spot. Your stuff will be there, but you will not be in that spot because people shift, people cut thing the line. So it's kind of funny like how it all is. It's like it's a beautiful process in the chaos of like losing your spot. But Tarawih and Ramadan really changed me. It really like help my faith grow. And I had wrote a poem during Ramadan last year, and I think, let me see if I can find it. So I called it The Spirit of Ramadan. I think my camera was crooked. I think I fixed it. So it's called The Spirit of Ramadan for the third time, like I said. So I put, whispers of divine intervention surround me. I close my eyes and let it consume me. Allah Akbar is a phrase that is so clear. Gratitude is something always near. Divinity has no words, just feelings. The Almighty's words and spirit is always near. Listen to them in order for your questions to be clear. Subhanallah, to be able to feel it. Subhanallah, to be able to hear it. Divine intervention is pure. Don't take it for granted because it's the perfect detour. Wudu and 2 rakats to say thank you. Let the pureness of the one with no ending consume you. Let it heal you and make you wiser, not only for you, but for the Almighty too. So when I wrote that, I was basically describing like the feeling of Ramadan, right? It comes in like Ramadan happens, and like everybody always said Ramadan happens at the perfect time for like people who are true believers. They need that like reset. And I see that now that's my second year of being Muslim. You need that reset. Ramadan's a perfect detour from your normal routine and doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands you for the month of Ramadan. And if you're not thinking of it like that, it's not going to be a perfect detour for you. You're not going to be able to see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's messages are for you unless you view it that way. And you have to be clear-minded. You have to be in dua. You have to be listening to the signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you by, praying istikhara when you're making a decision, waking up for tajud or witr. I call it witr prayer. I know some people call it tajud, I believe, which is the prayer at the third of the night. Well, waking up for that and doing those type of prayers for you. Those are perfect little things that are even more special in Ramadan. And I am in the Khataba today. The Imam was talking about how when you're fasting and when you're in the state of fasting and you make dua, it will most likely be answered, inshallah. And when that is going on, just thinking about, you're in Ramadan, say if you're praying for something that's really special for you and you're fasting and you're taking it seriously and you're doing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to better yourself as a Muslim, and you pray for something and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it come true, like alhamdulillah, it's gonna be like the best feeling. But yeah, so that's how I felt during my first Ramadan. So being that it's my second Ramadan, the first one was kind of like, I guess I would say like a test run for me to observe what's going on. The second one is for me to kind of like understand what goals to give myself and to kind of take it more in. Like inshallah, by third Ramadan, I think I will have like a better understanding, a better grasp of what I exactly need to do, because it's only my second one. It's not like, I've been like other Muslims my age who had multiple Ramadans, so we're able to build up what they know that they can do and stuff like that. I don't have that. So I'm giving myself grace during this Ramadan. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. I'm like, this is my second one. It's not like I've been Muslim for a long time. This year is going to make 2 years since I became Muslim. So I want to make sure that I am giving myself grace and not putting too much pressure on myself, because I am not a born Muslim. I am a Muslim who is still learning, who's very early in their career. Not saying that in my career, in my journey to Islam, not saying that other Muslims are not still learning, but they do have an advantage of experiencing more Ramadans than me, if that makes sense. So I decided to give myself some goals during this Ramadan compared to last Ramadan. So I want, hold on, my mom is calling me. So I decided to give myself goals this Ramadan, but I told myself that if I don't complete them this Ramadan, at least have them be completed by the next Ramadan, to give myself some grace and so forth, because it's the first Ramadan that I have like clear set goals. So I don't even know what I can handle. Like, if that makes sense. So to give myself grace by giving myself until next Ramadan to complete them, inshallah. And one of the imams at the mosque said the best time to start a new habit, a new goal, a new thing is during Ramadan, because 30 days is enough for you to like change your habits and stuff like that. And he said that, you know, anything that you start during Ramadan, you're most likely to continue doing it, inshallah, because he's mentioned that he started to learn how to memorize the Quran during Ramadan. And look, he's an imam now. So if that's not inspiration and showing you how beautiful things can happen once you start them during Ramadan, and look at where you lead, subhanAllah, it's gonna be amazing. Another thing that I did to help prepare myself for Ramadan is preparing recipe ideas. Like, I had 7 recipe ideas in my phone. So like, if I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to eat today, I like know like simple recipes, what I need, what the ingredients are, and I have them in my fridge. Well, like, inshallah, I will have all the ingredients I need in my fridge to like create them, or just know like what I have in my mind. Like, oh, I don't know what to cook today. Well, let me look in the fridge, see what's in there, which one relates to this recipe, or do I have time to go to the grocery store and grab something to make this recipe? Because I'm also telling myself I don't want to be wasteful during Ramadan. So I don't want to like, oh, let me stock up on all this stuff and I don't use it. I don't want to be wasteful. I want to be more mindful of like how much I consume, because I feel like as a society, there's so many people who are hungry and we overconsume stuff, and a lot of our food goes to waste. So I want to like try to be mindful of that. And yeah, so just be mindful of that. Another thing that I'm going to be doing during Ramadan to help me with my goals is making a weekly planner. Like, what day do I want to do this? What day do I want to do that? To help keep me on track and help me manage my time better, inshallah. So I decided to share some of my Ramadan goals with you. I'm not going to share all, obviously, because some of them are so personal to me. But I decided to share like 3 of them with you so you can understand what I want to do for Ramadan. And I will update you if I like completed them, how far I am into them, and so forth. So one thing I want to do is read the Quran. So I want to read the English Quran. So I asked one person in our Revert group asks, so being that we don't understand Arabic, should we read the English translation Quran or should we read the Arabic one? And
للحق والعدل التواصي بالجمال عبادة.
they said if you don't know how to like read or pronounce this stuff in Arabic and you still want to read the translation, but also have the Quran play, listen to the Quran in the background so you can hear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words, because the Quran is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words and the translation is a translation of the meaning of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words.
حسن التأمل بالإله وصال.
So with that being said, I want to read the Quran and I want to write down verses that like stick out to me, verses that mean something to me in this moment in my life. And inshallah, I want to make that like a routine that I do every Ramadan. And then when I finish the Quran, sit back and look at what verses meant to me and kind of like pick out the top 5 or like so that I like, and like put them in like a little like post or like something so I can remember, so I can like keep a booklet of like how I felt during this year and stuff, to also like have reflection and see like how my growth was. And I think it'd be so cool, like imagine like your grandchildren reading how you felt about the Quran, what it meant to you in a certain like moment in your life. I just think that'd be cool to like have somebody find one day and read how you felt about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words. So I want to read and write down my favorite verses of the Quran. And from that, I want to go and find the meaning. I forgot what the word is. There's like, I think it's tajweed. Tajweed, I think is the word is, where you find the meaning behind the verse, what happened when this verse was revealed. So I want to like learn more of that, write that like very beautifully in like a journal. If like and like when I'm writing it down, write down that the meaning behind it, and also opening up the Arabic Quran and going to that verse and saying that verse out loud in Arabic so I can like practice it and so forth, and maybe add it to part of my prayers when you have to recite verses of the Quran and so forth. Adding that. I hope that made sense. This was my thought process was kind of like all over the place for this. So that's what I want to do. And another thing that I want to do and like finish during Ramadan or by the next Ramadan is I created a playlist about each prophet. There is 25 prophets in Islam, and I will list their names here. So a lot of them you can find in the Bible and the Torah. And I want to watch lectures about them from the Islamic way, because I know about it from the Christian sense. So I want to learn about them in the Islamic way. And I started it already and I have been taking notes, but I want to finish it and so forth. And inshallah, I will make a podcast episode or something going into what is the lesson that I like from each of them, what did I learn about each of them, and so forth. And another thing that I want to do is practice my pronunciation of Arabic letters, like ayin. Like the letter ayin, when it has like the accent, I think is ayi, ow, like that. I need to like work on. I probably said it very bad, and y'all are cringing at your like couches or wherever you are if you're an Arabic speaker of that. But I want to get better at pronouncing the letters. I found this really cool video. I like watched one of his videos, and it was like, and he explained it so simply, and I think that it will really help me to help. And he like moves his lips, and he like shows you like his lips, like how he's like moving them to pronounce those words. So that's kind of like what I want to do. So that's kind of what I'm doing to prepare myself for Ramadan and so forth. And yeah, doing all that. And inshallah, I was like thinking about like hosting an iftar, and I'm like, girl, you only in your second year of Islam, why you think you can do this? And I'm like, I think I want to like experiencing all of that. If I get invited, inshallah I would go, but I don't think I'm ready yet to host my own, because I want to make sure that I'm doing it in a way that where people can learn, people can have conversations about Islam and stuff like that. And I don't think I'm ready in that part of my journey yet, but inshallah next year. But that is where I am and how I am preparing for my second Ramadan. So basically creating goals for myself, having meals, having some going to the mosque, obviously, for Taraweeh and all that, just, and also learning to give myself grace. If you're a new Muslim and this is like your first or second Ramadan, give yourself grace. You're not an experienced Muslim at this point in your life. You don't know exactly everything, so give yourself grace. That's what I would say. All right, so I hope this video made sense. My thought process was kind of all over the place, even though I had notes, because I'm excited. There's so much I want to say. There's so much I want to like prepare for and so forth. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully if you're a new Muslim, you are giving yourself grace during your first or your second Ramadan. So assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.